still out of breath. I just walked up fucking stairs. I guess that's our intro. Genuinely,
cold
let me catch
open.
my breath. Chris, welcome to Us Wales, the podcast that never fails to be a car crash of a podcast or a shipwreck of a laugh. Because this week's episode is all about crashing, wallop, bang, to paraphrase Alan Partridge. But you join me and poor David as my little friend Kaji, Jack. I called you 3 different things, which must be quite confusing for them.
I like it. It's the man of... I go by many names. Yeah,
they call me Peter. But you joined me in quite good mood, despite having some devastating news from the doctors yesterday, which I'll go into shortly. And
I'm on the edge of my seat for
tired. I'm a tired lad. I look over at poor Kaji, and my God, that is one sad sack of shit.
A sad sack of shit sat on the other end of the call.
Just looks so sad. You genuinely just look down in the dumps. And normally I'm the fucking emo.
I genuinely think what it is I went away for a work thing, right, an all-staff gathering Monday. Yeah. I was there Monday night, Tuesday night, left about 2 o'clock on Wednesday, but it was up in Bangor, so it was like 4 or 5 hours on the train back and everything.
Yeah.
It's genuinely just
Did you get to sit by yourself on the train?
All the joy. Oh, fucking yeah. On the way back, there was actually people from the gathering, like on the station.
Cool.
And I was like, I think they saw my little, my purchased Tiskies that I went from the local offie. But I was like, no one's getting in the way of me drinking these on the way home. So I was like, fuck this. But it's just, this genuinely like sapped the life out of me. Like, I knew I didn't. I know the working life isn't for me anyway. Never has been. But Christ, if it wasn't more of a confirmation, I was like, I can't do this for much longer. These gatherings are just like, who the fuck are they for? I was texting you one night. I was just like,
yeah. You said no one was drinking, and you'd had a few drinks. It was like an event, wasn't it? Like an after work event, pub quiz without the pub.
Yeah, exactly. There was a bar,
but then you did say they did bring the booze.
But what happened for me, because I was like I was on the laptop just going next slide for the quiz, right? I was roped into doing it. But it was right on the bar. So I was like, keep them coming, drive. Like, so I was like, skull one, give me another one, another one.
You're like Smithy when he's doing the pub quiz and Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah, the answer. What was the answer? Yeah.
It's Jimmy Bullard.
Yeah, it was just... it wasn't. I found, there's a few people who I work with who are a decent laugh, but there's no one who's like a pintsman, like me or you.
Yeah,
someone who actually goes, let's fuck off work and let's go to the pub, is it?
Yeah.
And they're so I get it. They're all passionate, like it's conservation, so you've got to be passionate to work in there. And it's in some ways it's endearing, but other times I'm like, oh, can you stop talking about work for 5 fucking seconds? Like it's constant shop talk, and that's not my bag.
We have very different, don't we? Because mine are all like quite young Londoners who are in marketing, so everyone's kind of like no one gives a fuck really, and it's like it's a like kind of a soulless job just doing like marketing stuff. But it means the pub game is strong. It means like a lot, like every Thursday is a big pub atmosphere.
I am envious of that.
Like, yeah, but I mean, I don't really go up anymore. I just can't. I've moved. I'm now a Bridgend boy, and I stay around Brackla and Bridgend.
You're full on Brackla boy these days. You don't leave. Don't leave the estate.
I'm doing an episode soon about Sir David Matthew, who was around Coity Castle, which is near the castle near me, and I've just become obsessed with all the history around here. But you look like a sad bit of shit, sad sack of shit. So let me cheer you up.
A piece of shit. Yeah.
Let me just get my notes up. So I went to get some blood tests for some sort of like experiment. I got a letter in the post saying like, "Hey, give us your blood, and we'll give you 10 quid."
Experiment or what? Yeah.
And I was like, 10 quid, you say? Okay. But I wasn't doing it just for the 10 quid because they also are going to check your vitals and stuff. And what they do is a part of the NHS, but it's called like Your Future Health, and they check your blood for like anything that might be wrong, and they check like millions of people's blood to like help fight disease in the future. So if we give our blood now, in the future they can use this blood to like examine causes or maybe cancer or something.
Okay,
all these things anyway. But I was doing it because I was like, well, I'm a hypochondriac. I do want to have my stuff checked anyway, so might as well go give them my blood. And I went down there. They took my my weight, my stomach circumference, my height, my blood pressure, my
give you a little like physical MOT, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, failed on all fronts.
You're not roadworthy, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I would not have passed the old MOT. My blood pressure was like mental. But I did say to her, she put it on, and I said, just so that you know, whenever someone takes my blood pressure, I go fucking do Lally Tap, and it's fucking nuts the first time. And then it's not too bad after that. So the first one was like, you're about to have a stroke.
Yeah,
and then she did it again.
Literally off the charts, you know.
Yeah. So the second time it was like, it's still not. It's still like it's in the cusp of being high, but the very high end of being normal. But the rest of it, not good. Your boy Frank's been certified fat bastard.
Just give you a big stamp on the forehead. Fuck off.
Tubs. Yeah. But it didn't help as well. I just went to Spoons before this fucking exam and had a massive cooked breakfast from Spoon. And she
extra hash browns freeze drive. Yeah, I'm going to the docks.
I had extra hash browns and I had extra black pudding. And she said, "When did you last eat?" I went, "About 5 minutes ago." She was like, "Oh, okay, then we'll have to note that because your blood's going to have spiked sugar in it." And I was like, "Oh yeah." She went, "What did you have?" I was like, I had a fucking extra large breakfast from Spoons. And then
I only had 2 pints with it. All right, it's fine.
Well, that's the other thing. Being in Bridgend Spoons, way more than like the Spoons down the bay where I used to go in Cardiff. It was fucking Thursday morning, 10:30. It was full. It was full of like people who'd been like brickies and like labourers having their brekkie, but also just full of like alcoholics who were boozing all day. And I text you, didn't I? Say like, I do have this mad kind of envy of the barflies who just fucking sip a pint for an hour.
I've never kind of connected with a meme more when it was like. When I'm on my way to work and I see the homeless man drinking some vodka and he's actually like hyping me up, and I was like, and then I'm getting really sad that I actually have to go to work, and it's like, I do kind of envy those guys in a way. Like they just got such a free life, haven't they? They just go, get a double fucking shot on the a Monday morning at 11 a.m. in Spoons. Why not? Yeah.
The nurse looked at the thing and she was doing it via BMI, and she was like, I'm 6 foot, just under 6'2", which I always thought was like 6 foot, but it was just under 6'2". And she was like, she said, BMI is never going to be like, call you anything other than a fat cunt. So that was kind of, but she did say, she was like, but if I'm honest, if you were to lose about 7 to 10 kilos, you'd be absolutely fine again. And I was like, okay, love. And as I walked outside I was kind of in a bit of shock because my blood pressure was really bad. And I was just like, my stomach was really full. I just fucking devoured a breakfast. But I didn't really take it all in. I walked directly opposite to a bakery and I got this fucking massive donut that you cut in half that they put extra cream into.
I need to eat my feelings.
Yeah. And then I got back and I was like, what the fuck? I just got told that I need to lose about 10 kilos. And like I just devoured this fucking massive
anti-authority streak in you, like, fuck you, I'll show you.
Yeah. So but then saying that, I don't know, I'm always fucking losing weight and then putting it back on. But I've got an alarm on my phone now that just says, "You are fat," that goes off every day at 11:01.
Give yourself the tough love treatment.
And earlier, I went to the butcher's to get some meat for roast dinner on Sunday, and it did go off. And I looked at it and I went, "Oh," because it did make me a bit sad. I was like, "That was a bit harsh," but it worked because I didn't get anything.
Put the goose fat back then, fuck's sake.
I'm not joking. I was thinking I might pop to Greg's after this and get a little cheese and bean bake for the cycle home. And I thought,
it's having the opposite effect on you. It's like you get the alarm reminder, just go, "Well, I'm here now, and why don't I just
I'm here now.
Have another pasty?"
So I'll let you know if I lose my 10 kilos. And to be fair, she was like, "Listen, mate, you're gorgeous. You're absolutely gorgeous as you are. you're absolutely gorgeous.
She was like,
don't you worry about nothing."
Despite these warnings I'm giving you, do you want to go for a drink with me after this? And you went, "Sorry, love, I'm married."
Do you know, I was desperately clinging at things. I was like, "Oh yeah, I go to the gym quite a bit." She went, "Yeah, this is more about your stomach."
No, like, you sure it's not my muscle mass that's doing this?
Have you seen my abs? I've got it.
You probably didn't use the instruments correctly because you were looking at my arms. So, like,
listen,
you've seen the legs. Look at my legs.
Yeah, look at my legs alone weigh 9 stone each. That was once a story. Yeah, there's this guy. There was an old episode of a Russell Brand podcast back before he was a right-wing maniac, where this sports teacher was classed as obese, and he said, "It's my legs. I've got 9 stone legs." He kept going on about all the weight into his legs. I realised I've become that man. So at least you're not fucking you're not clinically fat.
You know what? I was actually worried, mate, because when you said, like, you messaged, the devastating medical news, all for the pod and all that.
Yeah.
And then when you said that, you meant, like, you had some, I don't know what word you said, I can't remember exactly, but you said it was quite a grandiose word for, like, negativity. And I was like, fuck, is he going to give me, like, a cancer announcement on the fucking pod? Like, don't be wrong, I appreciate the hustle of, like, it's all for the podcast, it's all content, but I was thinking maybe, tell your nearest and dearest.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, because I've been on a bit of it, like I didn't sleep last night. I had like 2 hours sleep. I was just telling you. Then I was having panic attacks before falling asleep, and every time I'm about to fall asleep, I run out of breath and I wake myself up. So I only had 2 hours last night, hence I'm a bit manic today. But I was thinking, if I die, you have to do a sign-off episode, and it's got to get the most downloads you've ever had.
No, I'm going to just carry on my own.
If you carry, I will come back here.
Watch the downloads fucking just trickle off.
If you ever do this podcast without me when I'm dead, I will haunt the shit out of you.
I'll tell you what I'll do, actually. I'll carry it on, and I'll play both parts. It'll be like a
and you'll tell your wife that I haven't died, so you can carry on drinking.
He's still on there. I was just chatting through pod stuff. Yeah,
she
wouldn't find out either. She's like, "Oh, he can't be dead because Jack's been doing the pod with him for years."
Yeah, but yeah. So I'm now going to be a good lad, and I've not had booze since for a little bit. I'm 3.5 kilos down this week, even though I only found out yesterday I was a fat lad. Me and Emma are both on Emma's not allowed to have gluten anymore or dairy, and the minute you cut those two things out your diet, you just lose weight like straight away. So
why can nothing good be allowed to happen?
Oh man, fucking hell! I was thinking this the other day. I'm 35 now. If I'm lucky, I'll get to 70. Right, that's my aim. If I make it to 70, I'm halfway through my life now. I've got nothing left I can do. I can't do drugs. I was
say, take away the boy's beer, take away his dairy and his gluten. What's a man got left?
Yeah. What's the point? 35 years, I'd rather not have. So I'm still having dairy and glutes, but not as much. So instead of having my
peace with the whole alcohol thing a long time ago, I've said anyone will listen to this. I was like, it was like, oh yeah, but it might cut years off your life. It's like, yeah, but at the end. Yeah. It's the last bit, the last bit's shit anyway, isn't it?
Boring bit.
Shit myself and whatever, someone looking after me. Nah, it's all right. Just knock this off. If they say it's going to cut out these prime bits, it's like the next 10 years, then fair enough, I might do something about it.
If I said to you, all right, you get to live to 80, but you can't drink anymore, or you get to 60. So you can eat and drink what you eat.
60 is a bit early,
isn't it?
Yeah.
So if I said to you, you've got to quit boozing now and shit food, although you're quite a good eater, you got to have you got to be relatively. You can have one cheat day every 2 weeks, and you can drink every quarter, but you can't booze like we do, and you get to live to 80, or you get to 65.
Quarter.
Or you make it to 65.
That is hard, isn't it? Makes me question: am I dependent on the booze if I'm going rather knock off 25 years?
It's 15 years knocking off 15 years. If we got to 65, it's quite young, isn't it? Although all of my grandparents died around 65, they all died of heart attacks and strokes at that age. So I feel like I'm looking very close to my future.
What's the point in living long if it's boring?
What's the point? Yeah, good lad, really, ain't you?
Yeah,
I know. Anyway, that's a bit of a maudley little.
Yeah, that's one for the scholars. That question there.
Yeah,
get in touch. Would you knock off 15 years of your life if you could have a booze
carry on being alive
and eat dairy? Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of this the other day because we're going to do a Welsh school episode, which we're going to post on our Patreon. So we haven't pushed this for a while either. Check out the Patreon. We've been doing some really fun stuff over there. We got some videos coming up of us doing some little gimmicks and laughs. Yeah,
we're on video and stuff now, so you can see our
video
faces.
episodes. So people have been signing up, which is amazing. So yes, the more people who sign up, the more stuff we can do, and dedicate more time to this. So we appreciate it an awful lot. And if you don't sign up, if you could share it with your friends, or leave a review, that would be amazing, because that stuff
that'd be fab, guys.
So if you could share this with at least one person, and they share it with one person, then we'll all kiss Richard Bacon or whatever that thing is, Kevin.
Richard Bacon. 7 Shades of Richard Bacon.
But we want to do a growing up in Welsh schools because I think that's quite a unique, in schools in Wales and Welsh language schools, and growing up as a Welsh person in a non-Welsh school. So it covers everyone who's listening, and also American stuff because we have lots of Americanos. So it's a bit of a long-winded thing. But I was thinking the other day. It came into my head when I used to catch a bus to school, and this kid, I won't say his name because he's still probably a bully and he still might beat me up, but he was walking home and he was like, I think a year or 2 years above me, and I was on the back of the bus and I started just flicking the V's at him because he was like a horrible bully, and I was going like,
and you were in the safe space on your high horse and your coach, yeah.
And then about 3 days later, I was in the toilets at by Gwyddoniaeth at by Science. He came in there and I was having to piss in the urinal and he just started kicking me up the arse.
Vulnerable. He's like, you can't have no hands free.
And he was like, you were fucking swearing at me the other day. I was like, it wasn't me.
It was another lad that looks
beating
like
the shit out of me.
Please
and I had
let
my
me put my
trousers
willy
down.
away.
So I couldn't really fight back with my fucking
one hand on the
preteen dick.
The old chode. And the other one, get away.
And I was getting fucking battered by this guy, and he's like, and I had my bag on my back as well. So
that
he's
is
yanking
not
me about.
an honourable way to fight a gentleman. Kicking him while you're fucking literally catching Jimmy with his trousers down.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, we got so many school memories that me and you went to together.
Yeah.
At the time, we had a fight with like 60 people. And so I want us to go through all of our school stuff,
so
and
good,
I want to
man.
hear what the listeners' stuff.
So
we're going to do
a parallel to your one there. I remember a similar situation where I was giving it the big one from a place of safety, and then I instantly cowed down when it was like the danger was in front of my face. There was a kid a couple of years above us. Again, won't say his name. Probably still a little bit of bully. But
scared of the bullies.
Scared of the bullies still. He knew my cousin, and I remember talking to my cousin about him, and I was saying how much of a dick he was and things like that, and calling him every other son, acting all that. That all got back to him. And then on the schoolyard, then he was like, "Oh, you've been calling me a dick." Blah blah blah. I was like, "No, on me, no, come with me." Instantly
this is embarrassing. When I was in like year 7, I went to this dweeb's house. Again, I won't say his name, but he went to my primary school, but not my secondary school. And I was like year 7, and he went to me, "Oh, are there any girls in your school?" I went, "Yeah." And I named like the hottest girl in our school. I said, "She's actually my girlfriend." And
wow!
And then
he'll never know.
He then was opposite another friend who went to our school. "Oh, I heard Hal goes out with this person." And the guy was like, "No, he doesn't." I was like, "Okay, that's
all your chickens coming home to roost." Oh God!
I remember saying it. I was like, "Why am I trying to impress this fucking dog?" I suppose I don't know. Year 7's a fun.
I love that as well. We go, "No, why would he even say that? I would never say something like that. He's a weirdo. Don't even listen to him. Doesn't even go there."
Anyway, you poor little sod. You're tired as hell, aren't you?
I am very tired. I'm tired of life, mate. I'm tired of work, certainly.
What are you doing this weekend? Are you boozing?
We've actually got a bit of a free weekend, but I think we're going to go see some oldie stuff tomorrow. Go and see these, what are they called? Amy suggested Aneurin Bevan Stones. Have you heard of them? They're like some memorial thing.
He's not
to
like
him.
A mythical beast.
But I don't know. I think they're just like like some sort of thing in his honor. I don't know. But apparently, there's a huge statue not far from there that's like commemorates a big pit disaster. It wasn't one I'd heard of, actually.
You live in the pod this weekend.
Live in the pod, mate. Yeah, I'm going to take the dog, I think, just because it's meant to be nice weather for a bloody change, right? Tomorrow. So, yeah, might do that. I'm also going to probably have a bit to drink. Maybe, who knows?
I'm having another booze-free weekend. But then next weekend, I'm going for a weekend away for boozing. But I'm off to Manchester, and so I was up today early. I'm up tomorrow at like 5 o'clock to catch the train. And then I do find that like weekends last so much longer when you don't have a pint. It's crazy how much more time you have when you're not drunk or hungover.
Also, not as fun though. That's the catch-22.
Not as fun. Yeah, that is. Yeah, although you can watch films and play games with more focus, which is a slight bonus here. Yeah, and you're probably less gross. I think it is. Wife.
Probably. That's a good point. But I think it's like the classic time. What the fuck? It's obviously not that classic. I can't think of the phrase. What the fuck is it? Time flies when you're having fun. My brain is just not. I couldn't remember time flies when you're having fun. That really niche fucking phrase.
Was that Nietzsche who said that?
I was about to. Yeah.
James Joyce?
I was thinking, my brain was like going, time goes fast when you are having a good time.
Slowly,
and you,
time goes by.
Time flies around in fun,
it's like
right?
Gwen Stefani.
I'm always having, time goes by so slowly when you're having a fun. But yeah, I'm always having fun when I'm having a beer. So it obviously goes really quick. So yeah, that's my point. Fucking, I don't know what I'm talking about there. I don't know if that was valid.
Well, the good thing is from that crash of a story to today's crash of an episode, we have a story about a crash, I think, but I don't know because Jack's doing the research.
Similar, yes. It's on point there. It's a decent, not your best transition, but a good one.
You start. You look great.
The colour of you. I know, mate.
You're
I've just been
here.
looking. I've been so distracted by looking at my own face on the fucking camera.
I know.
My
You
God, you just
so
sort yourself out.
great.
You look so sallow, gross.
You look like you've like. Do you remember the BBC show, The Shoe Shine Boy, and he's a little ghost, like a Victorian ghost.
Yeah,
who comes back to modern.
I look like
you've been painted
in white
like
makeup.
a Victorian ghost.
Yeah. Died from fucking tuberculosis in the fucking in a chimney somewhere.
I've got the rot, my lord. But I'm my lord. Then.
It's a black
got
lung.
the geezer. All right,
but yeah, right. My hideous visage aside, right. Let's get on to the episode. So today I'm going to be yapping about Gwyr y Bwelli Bach, or the men with little hatchets in English. And they were a group of coastal wreckers that became a bit of a local legend in Carmarthenshire. To set the scene, there's a place along the Carmarthenshire coast called Cefn Sidan, which is where all these stories are going to be primarily based. It literally translates to silken back, and it references a 7-mile stretch of smooth, flat sands just off the shore. The sand flat was always shifting, causing sudden shallows to appear where they weren't before, and then like certain deeper parts, basically an unexpected bit of what was sea land? What's what am I trying to say? Frank? Help me out here.
I know what you mean. It's
land beneath the sea, fucking seabed.
They have them in estuaries, seabeds. Yeah,
yes,
so
exactly.
They change, which causes ships to
exactly. So the sand flat was always changing, basically, and it was a bit of a hotspot for shipwrecks. Because of this, between 182 to 300 vessels have been recorded as lost there. So a bit of a hotspot for shipwrecks. The sand flat is close enough to the shore that shipwrecks victims were often lucky enough to receive help from the locals on land. But if the legends are to be believed, this also presented an opportunity for plunder. So long before the Gwyr y Bwelli Bach were their own sort of thing, wrecking, which is the act of drawing ships into dangerous coastal waters in order to sink or wreck them, so you can steal the cargo, was something that was done fairly often in certain coastal communities. There was many methods of doing this, depending on what sort of coastal waters you happen to live by, but the Gwyr had their own method of operation. These little hatchet boys would display false lights in the properties closest to the coast to trick ships into thinking they were approaching a safe harbour, only to then raid them once they came close enough to land and run aground across the sandbank in Cefn Sidan. The reason for the hatchets was supposedly to break open caskets of brandy and other booze to celebrate a job well done. So legends, basically.
That's fun.
But there's also a darker version of the look. What's that?
I'm on their side now.
Oh, on this side. I thought you went side note and then went completely quiet. It's like a secret side note.
Shut up.
Yeah. Shut your mouth. But no, yeah, I'm on the side. I love the little Bwelli hatchet boys. But yeah, there's also a darker version of the local tales where the hatchets were also used to hack off bloated limbs of the drowned dead to steal jewellery. So that's a little bit more. That's a bit more dark fantasy. I quite like that though.
Yeah.
Even darker still, although these versions were few and far between from what I could research, some say they'd also use the hatchets to kill survivors, so no one alive knew who the wreckers were. So there's no clear evidence of who these men were, or that the wrecking was done on purpose and not just freak accidents. But the numbers don't lie.
How would you do it? How would you like trick someone into coming in? Just saying it's really pretending to
so
be
you
on your back.
You put the lights near the coastal walls, isn't it? And they think they're coming into a safe harbour then.
Yeah, I suppose I just don't know enough about boats because I'd just be looking down going, no, you're I suppose our waters aren't very clear, are they? So you can't really see.
I wonder if it's like I'm assuming it's always done at night and maybe like during stormy weather and stuff. So it's like chances of a ship going, oh God, we need to get to land quick and being a bit more.
Do you think that's probably the scariest profession in the world? being on a boat.
I would kind of hate it because the sea kind of freaks me out anyway.
The sea is terrifying. Imagine, and especially like in like the 1700s, 1800s. Oh
god, yeah.
Like when you're on like a wooden boat and you're just fucking. You know, the other day down by me, down by where I live now, that like 600 shoes washed up on the beach from like an Italian boat that was coming into Bristol.
Oh yeah,
it wrecked in the estuary and it turned up. And it's just like that stuff just happened all the fucking time. I was like, oh, they're all gone. It's just,
and terrible. It was like, I know we've been over it in some of the pirate episodes, like Bach and all that, but it's like there really wasn't much of a reason not to become a pirate back then, because actually working legitimately on those ships was fucking dog shit. You paid nothing.
Yeah, I think the life expectancy was like a year.
Yeah,
like,
it's such a dangerous profession, and for what you don't even get highly rewarded for it. It's like so why wouldn't you become a pirate and throw your lot in with a couple of scallywags? Anyway, so like I said, there's no like clear evidence that these men were doing these wreckings on purpose and things in Cefn Sidan, but like I said, there's huge numbers of shipwrecks down there, and there's also a few other little details locally that lend a bit more credence to the local legends. So there's curious coincidences even in the area, like a place called Bryn Towey Cottage. That's a local house that has what's known as a wrecker's window. So it's a window from a ship that's been used to replace a broken house window. So people are very like, well, how do you get hold of that ship window to replace it, sort of thing? And there's also an old farm located near Tan Alan Isav, also known as Dan Alan Isav, that apparently a lot of the house has been made with wooden beams from ship timber.
From ships, yeah.
So it's like they've used they've chopped up a wrecked ship or whatever to like rebuild
quite
little
hard
local buildings and stuff.
To deny that one, isn't it? Where do you get that from?
Yeah, it's like, Where'd you go? Did your ancestor wreck a ship by any chance? No.
No, I actually go out with the hottest girl of the school. Don't ask anyone.
Who said that? Who said that? No, who said I wrecked ships? While there's not a huge amount of solid evidence for Gwyr Bwelli Bach, there are plenty of historical accounts that confirm that stretch of coast was particularly dangerous. As mentioned before, there were hundreds of recorded maritime losses along Cefn Sidan, with the locals thinking that washed up debris from wrecks were a common sight. There are a few more specific wrecks, though. The first significant one would be the loss of I'm probably going to butcher this pronunciation, La Joine Emma in 1828. This was a French wooden brig travelling from Fort Royal in Martinique, I'm not sure how to say that, to Le Havre, carrying rum, sugar, spices, coffee, cotton and ginger. The ship's navigator had made a mistake directing the vessel, and on the night of November 21st, they hit Cefn Sidan hard, wrecking the ship and sending 13 people overboard, including Colonel Coquelin and his daughter Adeline, who was actually the niece of Napoleon Bonaparte's wife, Josephine. So a little connection to some big-time history people there. Only 6 people survived the wreck, but there were official reports of widespread looting, causing the Carmarthen militia to be sent down to the coast to restore order. 2 other ships that were sailing with the La Joine Emma, or however it's pronounced, was called the Brothers and the Pickering Dodge. Although there's a lot less detail on them, all 3 vessels are commemorated actually on a memorial in St. Italy's Church in Pembrey, which you can still go and see today.
Nice.
So there were hundreds of these wrecks, as I mentioned, but the next significant one was a decent bit after. It was the SV Paul in 1925, so just shy of 100 years after the French vessel ran aground. The SV Paul was a 4-masted windjammer, if there's any boat nerds out there, because I haven't got a fucking clue what that actually means.
Do you remember that game we played, Windjammers?
Windjammers. Oh yeah, that's very different to what I'm talking about, I imagine. But yeah, Windjammers is sick. I would play Windjammers over game. Working on a windjammer, I think.
yeah.
The SV Paul, anyway, was a 4-masted windjammer, as I said, and originally launched in 1919 as the Mount Whitney. Then it got changed to the Margaret Sayer before being named the SV Paul. I think those 3 names for a ship are really crap. Crap names for a vessel, isn't it? You know, I know we were giving was it Captain Morgan a lot of stick for naming everything the Royal Fortune constantly. But even the Royal Fortune is better than all 3 of those. What do you want to call your ship? The Margaret Sayer. boring, mate. Fuck off.
Yeah, that does sound like when they say they can go for a Mickey Raya for an all dayer, they go for a Margaret Sayer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I really fancy a Margaret Sayer today,
Margaret
lads.
Sayer.
If that's the reason,
so
fine.
maybe that's what it was.
I'll give you a thumbs up for that
one. You both
one.
fancy a Margaret Sayer, an all dayer?
So between October and November 1925, the ship was en route from Halifax to Dublin, carrying 2,000 tons of timber, when the ship encountered severe winds that destroyed the sails and anchors. Without any real means to sail the ship, they drifted and eventually grounded at Cefn, Sidan. Tugboats were dispatched from Cardiff to assist, but failed to refloat the ship. It took 26 local Welsh lads to recover the timber piece by piece, which they rafted to the railway at Bartun. Loads of this timber ended up actually not making it to its destination, with a very strong suspicion that some of the men hired for the job were also members of the Gwyr Bach and had actually pilfered some for themselves.
Bunch of scoundrels.
Absolutely. So if you go down to Cefn, Sidan now, or you can just Google it actually, that's what I did, you can see loads of shipwrecks still buried in the sand down there on the beach.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And the SV Paul, Cefn says CEFN SIDAN. And the SV Paul, the one I was just talking about, is the largest remaining wreck there. So you can still go see that to this day. And yeah, if you're down there with whoever, you can point to the SV Paul, the biggest one, and say, I know what that's called, because I listened to a very good podcast with the lads. Anyway, yeah, like I said, it's a very short one, and all I've got on the Cefn Sidan there. But the reason it sort of piqued my interest is because the Gwyr Bwelli Bach, that sounds a little like Tylwyth Teg to me, like fairy folk.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
They almost sound like mythological, don't they? The men of little hatchets. Like I'm picturing little like goblins coming along and like hacking stuff up.
I thought it was going to be one of these bullshit nonsense episodes.
Stupid fantasy stories that don't even real.
But it's it just seems the ship still crashed there though.
It's a dangerous bit of coast, mate. Apparently. But I thought that was.
We like that part of the world. We're fans of that part of the world, aren't we?
But I thought, the Gwyr Bwelli Bach, even though there's no like solid, of these people with them, I like the idea that they're like this secretive gang that have been there for like generations. It's like, my dad was a wrecker just like his dad before him.
I'll be a wrecker too, and my son will be a wrecker, and his son will be a wrecker too. We're top.
I got this hatchet down from my great-great-grandfather.
Yeah. All right. So, we should go back to work, my little piglet, and I hope you feel a bit better, isn't it?
Yeah, I might just go kill myself. Don't know. If I don't see you again, it's been a blast.
If I don't see you again, it's been a laugh. We got a great episode coming up as well with director Dan, so get ready for that. That'll be fun. And we'll be drinking, I assume, for that.
Oh, yes.
It's always a laugh when we have a little drink. Anyway, we clearly run out of steam.
Yeah.
See you later.
Right, see ya.
Ta-da.